To run Vlab, there are at most 2 programs needed. All setups will require a VNC client which will allow your computer to connect to Vlab. The recommended choice is Tiger VNC, which is free and readily available on most platforms. However, any VNC client should work. If you're working at home, you will also require the UNSW VPN, which we'll go through how to install and set up. The very first thing you'll need to know is how many bits your computer is, so it's either going to be 64 bits or 32 bits. So you're going to check that by going into the Start menu and opening up My Computer. In the top you'll see a Systems Properties. You're going to click on that and you'll see here we have system type 64 bits, which is great. Next thing we'll do is open up Chrome. So in Chrome we need to download the VNC client, which is Tiger VNC. So once it opens, we'll go into Google and search for Tiger VNC. Should be the first link. So we're going to click on Tiger VNC, and in the top right you'll see a Releases tab. Click on that. Once the Releases tab opens, you can go and click on this link, bintray.com. This will have the downloads for your computer. Once the Bintray page opens up, you'll see when you scroll down a list of links. We're going to download the Tiger VNC 64 version.exe because before we found out that our computer was 64 bits. So we'll click on that link and you should see the download pop up. Once that's finished downloading, we'll open it up and install it. Once the download's done, open up your Downloads folder in File Explorer. You'll need to open up the exe and run it, and then you'll be presented with a box to accept that you want to install, so click Yes. Once the installer opens, you'll be able to go through to the next page where you'll see the README. You can read the README in your own time, although I already have, so I'm going to accept the agreement and continue. We want to leave the file location as the default, which is in Program Files, and we're going to leave the name as Tiger VNC 64-bit. You want to leave both of these ticked, as this will allow Tiger VNC to connect to the Vlab. Once this is all set up, you can click the Install button and wait for it to install. And then click Finish. So now if I go into my Start menu and type in Tiger VNC, you'll see we have it here. We now need to connect to the VPN. So we're going to open up the browser again, and we're going to type in the address vpn.unsw.edu.au and hit enter. This will take you to a portal which will allow you to download the client. So you need to type in your ZID and ZPass. This is not the password you use to log into your computer, but the one you use at UNSW. And then click Login. Leave the group as default UNSW staff and students. You get a warning message pop up, which you can just continue through, and it will run a series of checks. Most likely, you'll get to this screen here. You'll need to download the AnyConnect VPN, and it will automatically guess what version your computer is, so you don't have to worry about versions. It's quite a small download, so once it's done, we're going to go back into our Downloads folder. And just like before, we're going to run the installer. So we're going to double click and click Run. From here we can go Next. Again, we need to read the README agreement, the license. So I've already read it, read it at your own time. Click Accept when you have, and go Install. This might take a few moments, so don't worry. You may get a pop-up box asking to install the program. Click Yes, and you'll see that it copies across the files. When this is done, you'll have a Finish button. Click Finish, and you have everything installed. So the first thing we need to do is to open up the VPN. So back in our start bar, I'm going to type in Cisco, and you'll see automatically we get the Cisco AnyConnect pop up. So we'll click on that, and you'll see down the bottom here we get a box. From here, you'll type in an address. So the address is again the vpn.unsw.edu.au. And we click connect. You'll see a similar box like you did when you downloaded, where you can select the group, which we should leave as the default, staff and students, and you'll be able to type in your ZID and ZPass. You'll get a warning message which you can accept, and then this will connect to the VPN. When you're connected to the VPN, all the traffic from your computer to UNSW is routed through this secure network. This means that it is as if you are on campus, which is required to run the VLab. Once it's done, you'll see on your taskbar the Cisco AnyConnect icon. You'll see you get a green tick, which means you're connected. We can now go in to our Tiger VNC, which we have just installed. We want to open up the Tiger VNC viewer. So we'll click on that, and you'll see a box which says VNC server. Now this requires a different address because we're connecting to VLab. So we'll connect to vlab.cse.unsw.edu.au. We also need to put a number after this, which is the resolution. I recommend a default of 5916. However, you can experiment with these and find one that suits your computer. There is a table below which shows which resolutions are available. When this is done, click connect. You'll see we get a screen similar to what we see in the labs. It has a login box, and in this we're going to type in our ZID. And we're going to type in a password. You'll see there's a warning box which you can accept, and you can accept the second one as well. And now you have a desktop just like you would in the lab machines. So what we'll do is we'll open up a terminal by right clicking and going open terminal here. From here we'll go to our home directory and we'll make a folder called Lab 02. We need to change into that folder using CD, so we'll change directory into Lab 02. And we'll open up a new file called Hello World. So I'll go get it, the file name helloworld.c, and then I'll put an ampersand, which basically means get it will go to the background, and I can still use the terminal. Click enter, and you'll see get it opens up. So just typing a simple Hello World program. We can save this file by clicking the save button in the top left and then close get it. If I go ls in this directory now, you can see the file we just made is there. We can compile it using DCC because it's like we're on the lab machine. So we can go DCC, set the output to hello world, which is the name of our source file, and our source file is helloworld.c. Enter. Now if I ls again, you'll see we have our executable. So I'll run it by going /hello world, and you can see our message pops up. Now all the files that you have on CSE are also available on VLab. So if I go into my home directory, you can see I have a bunch of files already made up. It is also possible to open up a browser through VLab. So we can go here into Internet and open up Firefox. And like I said, this works exactly as you do in the lab machine. When you're finished with VLab, there is an icon at the top that looks like a door. Click this icon and you'll get a logout box. Simply by clicking logout, Tiger VNC will close the connection. However, the VPN is still running, so if we wanted to reconnect, we could simply go to Tiger VNC again. The address will be there from the previous time, so we can connect. We use our ZID and the password. and by clicking through the warnings, we'll get the same screen again. So if I open up Terminal, and I change to my home directory, you'll see the files we just made, lab02, are still there. Awesome. So when we're finished with VLab, we've submitted our work, we've tested it, we can log out, but we're still connected to the VPN. So we need to disconnect from that. And the easiest way is to go back to this task tray down the bottom, click the icon for Cisco, and click Disconnect. Wait for it to finish, and then you'll be back on your own Wi-Fi. Closing this, and you are done. To reconnect, you just need to open up the Cisco VPN again, and then open up Tiger VNC.